Hey, Nick,
Hey there, Jen.
I hear you have a problem.
I always have a problem. Are you ready for today?
I am.
All right, so here's the deal. I'm building a new site, a new sales page, and I'm really trying to figure out how I want my flows to go for the checkout piece. Right now, I'm thinking that I want to just build my own site and be really focused on my brand. But YouLi has a really terrific back end. So it takes the payments, the forms, the reminders. That's really, really important to me. But I really kind of like the sales page that I'm setting up in another program. Can I
Mhm.
marry the two up?
Absolutely. Let
Can
me
you show
show
me how?
you exactly how to do that. So
Okay.
I've got an example here with Walking Mentorship. So they have their own sales page promoting this end of year program. And so they've built that out with all the content that they want and everything that they need in the style that works for their website. And then all you have to do is link your booking link, your share trip link from this button here. So that's what they've done. And when you click on that, it actually loads up into what we call the checkout flow. So when you're choosing your booking flow, you want to pick checkout flow, and it'll look like this. It's a page where they have to complete their registration form, choose their packages and their payments, and then complete that all in one process. So is this kind of what you're looking for?
Yeah, that could do it, but I also have another idea. I don't know if I'm going to build the sales page in Yuli or separately someplace else, but I'm thinking that when they click the register to pay button or whatever the call to action button is going to be, I want them to register and give me their details before they actually pay. That way, in case they abandon cart that and they go away, at least I'm going to capture their information. Can you do that?
Absolutely. So when you are setting up your trip in Yuli under pricing in bookings mode, you have a couple of options for booking flow. So when I just showed you with Walking Mentorship is the checkout flow. So they register and make a payment in one transaction without having seen anything else on the Yuli trip page. You've just described the register to pay flow, where they view the trip page, then register their interest, and then they get an option to pay. So, in order to do that, you're going to click to share trip link, copy this link when you're in that mode, and then this is what you link from that button on your page, or you send out in an email. And then they get to just scroll through all of the beautiful stuff you have on your trip page in whatever display you prefer. And then when they click book now, I'll be Jen, and this is the registration form. So again, that's customizable, of course. And this is just a sort of intermediate step. So you can choose optionally to have a little message that pops up. Of course, this is all going to be your branding here. And they land on the invoice. And so now I've landed by default on the twin share. I can choose a different package here if I want to. And so if I don't complete this process, then on the back end, you as a planner, you actually get to see now that I have registered. So I've registered, but I'm not yet booked. So now you can reach out to me and try to convert me. It's a higher cost of conversion, but depending on the kinds of customers you have, if you're not high volume, then you might want to do this because you want to sort of high touch with each customer. But if you are high volume, I wouldn't recommend the register to pay flow.
Cool. All right. So I've got one more. See if we can uh, trip you up on this one. So I want a traditional sales page in Yuli. Use one of their two templates. I don't care which one it is. And then when they register to pay, it takes them to a sales page that captures their registration and their payment all in one place. Can we do that?
Mm. Absolutely. So, first, I just want to touch on what you just said about the trip page style. We do have those two styles here. So, what I'm showing you in these demonstrations, that's a choice that every customer on every trip gets to make in terms of that style. And then you have additional options with different kinds of styles as well. And we have a new overlay with small banners. So, check that one out. But the one you just described is this last flow. So keep in mind that styles and flows are different, but interrelated. So you need to kind of pick your style of what the stuff looks like when they land on it. And then you need to pick their flow, which is like what are the stages that they go through in order to complete their booking. So the third case that you've described here is trip page checkout flow. So they view the trip page first, then they register and make a payment in one transaction, then they land on their personalized trip page to complete the rest of their forms. So I'll just show you Best Life Adventures as an example of that flow. So they have a landing page on their site for their Extreme Dreams Solomon Islands tour. And then when you click on the book your spot, it actually lands them onto, oops, sorry, jumping ahead there. It actually lands them here on a trip page where the customer can scroll through and explore everything in whatever style, sales page or highlights. And they can explore the itinerary in detail day by day. But then when they click book now, instead of it pulling up that registration form like you saw in the register to pay, it takes them to the checkout experience. So you can't have someone who's registered but not booked. So this is a great sort of middle ground where you want to use a little bit of the sort of sales page functionality on YouLi, but you still just want to complete single transaction for the checkout so that you don't have people that are kind of like registered but not paid, not booked or paid, and you just have people that come straight in as booked. So we really like that third option. It's a really popular one. And we strongly recommend exploring that if you don't feel that your landing page is doing enough selling and you actually need them to just have one more step in there to really convince them that this is the right tour for them.
Excellent. All right. Now, so far, you've shown me all these individual pages, which is great. But I've got a bunch of retreats going on at the same time. Can I somehow get all of those just kind of like plopped on my page, just embed all of those into my site?
You absolutely can. You're going to use what we call the integrate with website snippet. So you get that from the share trip link pop up, click here, and then you can copy to embed this on your website. I'm going to show you how Run Wild Retreats has done this on their Wild Women subpage. They actually have a number of pages, so there's some fancy stuff there. But just to help you understand what this looks like, so notice all of the Wild Women retreats. They've got quite a few that are running. And so this makes it really easy. They can just tick them on YouLi to show or hide, and they automatically disappear when the dates are passed. So that way, Run Wild Retreats can just focus on running their retreats and not have to be constantly building pages on their website. And when you click onto one of these buttons, it actually drops you either straight here if it's configured that way, or it might drop you onto the sales page. So again, that's all configurable on a per trip basis. So you can have some pages that drop in from the embed onto the sales page. So this is that sales page style that we talked about. And then it goes to checkout flow. And in this case, it's all sold out. Or you can direct them just straight to the checkout flow from the embed. So again, it really depends on whether or not by the time they've gotten to this page, do you think your customer is like ready to book? Or do they still need to see some more details before they do that? So that's the decision that you need to make in general. And you can either establish that as your norm for all of them, or you could have, maybe it's something where it's for loyal customers that are returning, send them straight to checkout. They trust you, they're just going to buy. But if this is something that's like, you're selling mostly to people who don't know you yet, send them to the sales page first and really convince them and, get them engaged before they are prompted to pay.
Very cool. Thanks for your help.
No worries, Nick. Always love solving your problems. Now you have so many choices. Do you know which one you're going to pick for your next retreat?
I've got two retreats and I'm going to do two different things because I can.
Ooh, do a little A/B split testing. That's
Right.
exciting.
Exactly.
All right. Until next time. Bye, Nick.
We'll see you soon. Bye, Jen.